I hear you. I'm doing the same thing. I pretty much just cleaned up the house today. I didn't do too much else. I just got into clean mode, so did all the dishes, did like 4 or 5 loads of laundry. Jackie was working on artwork and stuff, so I wanted to make sure I could take whatever off her plate as I could. But yesterday we went to her work party, her holiday work party. Those are always
Yeah, I saw
fun.
some of the pictures. Yeah. How was that?
I mean, it was good. Like her best friend at work, her husband, he's cool. We just kind of chilling, people watch the whole time. But they do karaoke, and their head doctor was showing off the new facility. I mean, it's a nice place down in town, like right outside of Towson. Top notch. Had the projectors in the training room, and we went into like I guess the great hall where they got all the surgical tables and stuff. Like, it's impressive. But it was a work party.
Nothing too exciting, huh?
Uh, uh, yeah, nothing, nothing I care to share. How
Well,
was
it
your
kind of
weekend?
says it all, doesn't it?
It's a good time.
Um, was over at the house Friday, helping figure out some of the projects and stuff that she's got in mind and all that, and it went a little south, so I didn't go over there this weekend. In fact, the kids went up to mom and dad's Friday night. So they're going back to the house today. I think they have a couple of days this week before they're off for Christmas and stuff like that. So it was cool. Just getting some stuff done, getting some laundry done. Just chilling for the most part, yeah. Watching a few different podcasts and stuff like that. I don't know. Learning social media. Like, I was messing around with Twitter. I made my own Twitter account, and I'm learning how that works. Like, it's freaking dope. I like Twitter. Like, legit. Like, I feel like Twitter, out of all the platforms, is the easiest to just interact directly with somebody. Now, whether it's the actual person you're trying to, who knows? But the fact that you can see instantly when they post something or respond, and then you can immediately respond, like you're a part of the conversation. It feels more direct than the other ones where you just post a message and you just wait and see if somebody responds to it. It's pretty cool.
I used to do Twitter a lot in like college, but I think like the switch over from, I guess when Instagram came out, this kind of when I switched over, but it's not like it went anywhere. Like people have been consistently on Twitter for years, and it's still, like you said, it's the easiest to. I think that's where people are probably the most genuine, when they're just like in the moment and just send something out. That's why you see a lot of guys like John Jones and Conor McGregor end up deleting their tweets as an hour after they put it up, because somebody's just like, "No, that's not the move," or because they were probably under the influence or something like that when they posted. But that and TikTok too.
But that's the thing, because it's so instantaneous. Like, as soon as you make the account, it warns you. Like, people screenshot, people save stuff like out of the gate. Like,
Yeah.
Like, to your point, it's raw. You really got to think it through before you do anything. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. But
like,
yeah,
we got so many people involved in this group and social media platforms and stuff. It's like, even if everybody just took one and just made that their specialty, then we'd be light years ahead of where we are right now. It's not, I mean, we're only what, this will be the 4th episode, really like our 5th or 6th time even talking. On Wednesday we were just kind of messing around. We were just talking about whatever was going on. We're watching the game, and Duane talking about video games and stuff. I didn't realize how much he still played video games still, but he was down to try and do something online, or Call of Duty or something like that that's cross-platform. I don't know if Gene has it, but I know Brandon said he just got the new Call of Duty, but you still got the games like Among Us. Duane brought up it's like Knockout Kings, I think it is. It's like dodgeball, but I think that's another free cross-platform one.
okay. That sounds cool.
Where are you going to be?
I hear you loud and clear. That's what I'm going for at this point. That's why I kind of I think I kind of like the idea of Twitter, mainly because it was so like, it's so bare bones. There really isn't much to it. And then TikTok is cool, but I don't know if I'm really into that community. It's trying to do a little bit of everything. The more I've been on it and stuff like that, where you still have the people that still do the dance crazes and all that stuff, but you have a lot of people that are using their expertise to just speak to whoever's going to listen. And it's like, it's cool, but it's meant for like a quick hit type thing. And there's people that are putting like 5 and 10 minute things on there still. Like, that's what I thought TikTok was supposed to be about, almost like a Snapchat or something quick, and it gets your attention, and it might provoke a thought that you go and follow links to something else. But it seems to be expanding. It's a lot to it.
Yeah,
got a lot to learn on that.
I mean, Jackie, like half the things that she comes up with, it's like, oh, I learned this on TikTok. It's like, I thought everybody was just looking at like the quick viral dance craze and stuff. It's like, no, you get legitimate information. And like my pillow, it was her pillow, but she gave it to me because she couldn't use it. It was one that has like a divot in the middle, and like kind of like your head just rests in it, but it keeps your spine in alignment. And that she got off TikTok. I used it for a couple of weeks, and it definitely helped my neck. And I have trouble with the left side of my neck. I don't know if it's from football or what, but just little things. And then it'd be, but I can't even tell you all the things that she's learned off of TikTok. It's she's not looking at it for whatever like the new viral sensation is or whatever. She'll pick up. I think like I was looking for something like, what's the alternative to like an Adderall type of a thing, something that's just going to be like a mental, like a focus energy boost. And she found this is like tyrosine, L-tyrosine or something you can pick up at Walmart. It just gives you like clarity. Like I take it in the morning, and it just, I don't even know I don't know if it's a placebo effect or whatever it is, but it definitely gives me like a boost in the morning and like a little more like clarity throughout the day. But yeah, you can do whatever you want on TikTok. And most of the stuff I was telling Jackie earlier, it's like I look at TikTok on Instagram because everybody's reels, they're making it on TikTok because it's very easy access to. I tried making a TikTok on my shirts the one day, and I can see how easy it is, but it's also like the timing and everything, trying to edit the videos together. We already got the cap cut, so I'm like, I just took a whole video, and I'd rather just do the whole video, sit down with it and play around with it and stuff. TikTok is a lot quicker though. If you can get nice with it, then you can make some creative stuff on there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's there. It's just kind of like thinking it through and just trying to use all the capabilities that it has. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm not really concerned about it. I just think it's going to be the patience factor. Like just being consistent and keep trying to learn things and keep using the different platforms and stuff, because it's insane, dude. Like, you post family pictures or anything like personal or whatever, and I had like 80 or 90 likes on a picture of one of the kids, and it's just like, it's there. Like, I had one of the guys at work asking me about some of the videos and stuff like that, and I wasn't expecting the conversation, so I wasn't really prepared to say anything to be like, you remember when you talked about the whole elevator pitch? I was like,
yeah,
that's cool. I'm glad you saw the video, man. And I didn't know what to say. I was caught off guard. I was so freaking caught off guard.
That's what I was saying. Like, what is the, and you don't, it's like we kind of wanted to have that flexibility to be able to talk about whatever. And, but when someone asks you about it, you really do get that 30-second window. Like, what exactly is it? Because I'm actually making now Ryan's going through me to do the uniforms for work. And as soon as I started making the uniforms, I'm like, but why are we using this tagline that represents moving when we do it all? And that's kind of the reason that we can do it all. So it's like, just think about it before I order these, because he trademarked the tagline, managing every step of your move. I'm like, no, it's cool. We do the move management piece, but we spent 5 years trying to get people to understand what downsizing is. And now we finally got people seeing the shows on Netflix and the hoarding shows and stuff like that. It's like, all right, now they know what downsizing is. It used to be downsizing. What are y'all getting rid of employees? Like, no, it's
Yeah.
downsizing to a house, and we finally got that. So for years we've been using, I switched up the logo to say relocation and downsizing experts. And people can quickly see, oh, okay, that's what you do. But now it's managing every step you're moving. I'm like, it's cool, but people don't know what move management is. Now they're going to be asking, are you just a manager? Do you actually move? Oh, you do auction, downsizing, and all that stuff. Like you wouldn't get that from the first look. So, that's the same thing with the podcast. Whatever you want it to be, when somebody asks you, you only get their attention for a very short window anyway. They're going to.
I witnessed it. It was there and that was the worst part. We were on the phone, so it wasn't I could really read his body language or his face or anything. It's one of the good old boys, right? And he's like, and he's one of the guys I'm really cool with. And he's like, he completely changed whatever the topic was we were talking about. He was like, "Oh yeah, them videos. It's on your. I saw you posted on your Facebook." And I'm like, and the first thought I had was, "Oh shit, which one did he see?" Because what is he? So I need to prepare responses to this. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw the initial picture, and apparently one of his kids had watched it and told him they were doing. And his one son works with us. He's got two other kids that are like college age." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out tonight or whatever. What are y'all doing? Like, what's it about?" Yeah, I got to work on that. Definitely got to work on that. But I mean, I it's just cool. It's cool to see that someone's paying attention. I mean, even to see the likes and stuff show up, or not the likes, but the views, to see that the numbers of views and stuff clicking through stuff, that's cool and all. But it's just so huge. It's such a huge platform to run with. Like, there's just the capability is there. It's like, what should we do with it? What should we do with it? Watching these guys have a whole bunch of fun and stuff like that, chit-chatting on stuff. But at the same time, they have, like I said, those questions come up, like the fan questions that they'll read, or the producer will do it. The producer things that they could talk about, or they'll do one of their ads in the middle of the podcast or whatever, and that sometimes will spark a conversation or whatever. I don't want it to be forced. I don't want it to be, I don't know. And then on top of it, the time constraints too.
What time constraints?
You had said that someone said something to Duano about maybe they were running a little too long.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was saying that it was like an hour and 47 minutes when for the last episode, but it was just like without having a focus at all. Like the daddy issues, like I said, that's my favorite podcast. I think the last episode probably went like 2 hours. And normally the fans are asking for more time just because when you get on the little side tangents and stuff, time just gets away from you. But I mean, I don't know how much feedback. At the end of the day, the feedback that I've gotten from people they're more looking at the clips and like it's going to take that extra step to get them off of Instagram. They're looking at the clips, but they actually are watching the clips. So it's like, do you chop it up that much more and just give them a little taste or whatever, and then be like, well, because everybody asks that for that. It's like, where can I find the rest of the podcast? Like, you can just go to the YouTube channel, you can go on Spotify, you can get the whole thing there. But it comes down to convenience for people. I'm on the road all day, so I'm always listening to podcasts. But most people, unless you're working from home and you got Spotify on or something like that, it's going to be those clips. They're already there on Instagram. On the link tree, I can add Spotify, like the anchor page for Spotify and the YouTube channel. But yeah, it's most people are scrolling their timeline. They're not going to the individual page unless it's like, unless it's like a girl that posts a picture or something like that. Like, oh, let me see the rest of that. And like, they're not going to go through the detail. Even if you go to somebody's page, they're then scrolling their timeline. You got to be at the top of their page to even click on the link. So it's tough to get people to go away from Instagram. I think if you have each one of the episodes, chop it up into small, here's a 30-second clip, here's a 5-minute clip, you know, like just different times or whatever, people will end up watching the whole episode without even realizing it.
And that's what I was going to bring up too. Like, is it worth keeping the shorter clips? But the more I'm watching stuff on here, people are doing a mixture of both.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other part too. What's up, fella?
What's happening? My bad, fellas.
There you go. What's up, G? We didn't mean to ignore you.
I was letting y'all. Yeah, I was just letting y'all vibe. I was just taking a listen.
Just kicking around stuff. I didn't even hear anybody else come in. I was just gone.
Came in through the back door.
We're talking about the clip length and stuff, like the posting stuff on social media and everything.
Yeah, I like when we do those little clips too. And you know, if you think about it too, you think about getting people away from like Instagram or whatnot. You know, one of the things I think about, and again, I don't know, you know, I don't post nearly enough but the reels, the stories, TikTok, those are all exceptional platforms for the mini clips. Like we really, you know, we push it like that on TikTok. You know, that's easy for the storyline, you know what I mean? And you keep feeding people all these clips, then eventually it drives traffic somewhere else. Like somebody's gonna be like, all right, let me see you know, just kind of like when you talk about, you know, seeing a girl, but if they keep seeing this in their face, they're kind of like, all right, let me see a little bit more what this is about, because there's gonna be something that's gonna pull them in, you know? Like there are days when I just wake up and I'm like, all right, cool, I intentionally run into every motivational clip I could find, you know, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like those little clips, they're good. I think they're good. But if you exercise their abilities, then you could get a lot more from them. Again, doing the TikTok, doing the reels, doing the stories, you know, because you put up a story versus putting up a picture or a post, and you can get double that because people are automatically already going through their stories. Like that's what people do now, you know, and they go through stories, you know. So like I might post a pic and get like 30 likes or something, but I don't even know the views, but then post a video, the clip, you know, I'm like, oh, 200 people peep this out, you know what I'm saying? So TikTok, again, same thing. That's, you know, and then I think the only hyperlink we have is just something to go right to Spotify, right there on the IG page. I don't know if TikTok lets you do it, but it's just your link and then jump over to Spotify. And, you know, if we don't already have that, that's, you know, that's where it's at. That's the only link really they should be able to see right when they come on IG, link to Spotify.
Speaking
or YouTube,
of
whichever one.
Yeah, speaking of social media and apps and stuff like that, any of y'all got any connects with the app developer?
I mean, kind of like at work, we've been developing an app just for us. But yeah, I mean, what are you thinking now?
Well, we had to talk offline, man. I got this idea for a social media app, and you know, it's something that I've battled with more recently. In terms of, we kind of touched on it in terms of being forced to post on social media. I feel like 98% of the stuff on there is genuine to a degree, but like, is everybody posting the stuff that's not going right for them, or is it only the positive? Is it only the filtered pictures? Is it, you know what I'm saying? It's not. I need the rawness, the uncut. And I used to be on social media heavy, like, you know, that was it. And it's now I get on there, and, you know, it's a way to stay in contact with folks, but it's like, is it really one? It just takes time. Like Phil, you were saying, like, okay, just to post something, how much time does it take to make sure the picture's right, the filter is correct? How many times do you proofread it before you post it? Things like that. And then, you know, going through the motions if you're scheduling or actually posting it, things like that. But I don't know. I got to flip that switch back because I know, you know, this is our market and everything like that. But it's just, it's tasking. I don't know.
What do you want to see?
Maybe I'm just getting older.
What do you want to see?
I know I am.
What do you want to see?
Like I said, it's something that we could talk offline. I don't want to give away too much. I heard, the recording is in progress, so
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we're learning real.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I don't know if you had heard that part of it, Duano, but that's what Philip and I were talking about in terms of like our individual versus collective social engagement. So I was messing around with like Twitter, and I'm learning a lot more about TikTok and that kind of stuff. Like, not to sound old, but I am old. I just feel like I'm just very out of touch with all that stuff. And I'm finding that I really dig Twitter. Like, out of all of them that we're messing around with, Twitter just seems to be like, it's the most hard hitting. It's just very fast paced. It's like stream of thought. People are posting stuff like instantaneously. You can just watch it. It's almost like watching the stock market or something. And you can instantly reply to these people while their phone is in their hand, as if you're in a conversation with them. It's really, really cool. I had no idea how that stuff really worked. It's dope.
Yeah, I've always dug Twitter over the other platforms per se, just because everything that you can do on, you know, Instagram, it was the pictures. You know, then they added videos and TikTok, they were doing, well, they did away with it, but the fleets, they were doing that on Twitter too. But everything you can do on the other platforms, you can do on Twitter, and it's crazy. Like, oh, folks from other platforms say, I just jumped on Twitter to see if Facebook was really down, you know, and stuff like that. But like when you get breaking news, you're hearing Wojnarowski or, you know, Schefter tweet about it. It's not, oh, let me go check the TikTok page and get news. And I think just part of growing up, you know, the content that you're seeking. Although I think, you know, having the same last name as Jack is probably one of the, you know, the bigger reasons why I gravitate towards Twitter too. But nah, I mean, everybody has their preference, but it for me is just too much to keep up with every single different, you know. And TikTok's been around since like 2013 or something like that. Something crazy. But yeah, pandemic happens and it just blows up. So what's the next wave? So
I mean, honestly, I feel like for us, TikTok, it would be a way to make things that you can share on like Instagram as real. But when it comes to TikTok, I feel like the next step for all of us would be like personal TikTok, like actually getting to know, like you doing a dance with Amaya or something like that. You know, those type of things, like they really don't take long to make. It's just like, instead of thinking of all these different things you can do, look at the current trends of what people are doing and then just do it your own way. Like, until we actually just do that, you know, I didn't even, like she just like posted one of her first TikToks, and it was just her getting to the house and one of our cats was up on top of the car, and our cat, just as soon as you open up the door, she's in your car. And she had like a voiceover on the back of it. And I was like, that's the simplest video, but I'm sitting there laughing at it though. Like, we could easily do that stuff. I think when we get to the age that we're just like, I kind of want to be off social, but like I want to be present. So I don't want to be thinking about, hey, pose this way so I can take a picture and all that stuff.
Right.
It's kind of, it has to become second nature to be like, this is a moment, let me get something real quick and then I'll be here. You know, I'll post it later, but let me at least, you know, people would be happy to see these types of things or whatever. And it doesn't take too much, but yeah, we just, high school, college, yeah, every single time we're out, we're going to post something in statuses and all that stuff. But now it's just like, whatever. But think of it as marketing a business. You know, at some point, it's like you have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what it is.
Or you just outsource it, or you hire a marketing manager, one of the two. So now, I mean, I get the importance of it, you know, in terms of a business owner, entrepreneur, or, you know, creative, whatever it may be. It's just, you know, it's not hard to, but it's seeing the content and just, this is really going on. This is really happening. And I just read an article, I think it was a BuzzFeed, you know, they had something about friends of influencers and what they were doing. You know, they lost friends, or they were friends with the influencers and they stopped being friends with the influencer, but just because of the topics of the conversation. Oh, I'm getting this for free, I'm trying this out, or take a picture of a random alley and say, hey, I'm in Italy or something like that, and just, you know, they're in DC or wherever it may have been. But I don't know, just kind of cutting the real from the fake.
Well, you know, when we think about this podcast, you know, we have to remember what we were trying to accomplish with it too at the same time. So even when we do these, and, you know, we have an episode right now, You know, we still got to do our check-ins. Like we still, you know, those were the things that, you know, we said was our niche, right? Like that was what, because this was kind of like that, you know. So we're talking about where we want to put the content, but we got to remember, you know, the content that we're trying to get. We're trying to get that rawness here, you know. So
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, so I think, you know, we definitely need to go back to that, right? That needs to be a focus again, you know, and keeping it real on our own platform and inspiring others.
True story. So speaking of which, down, what you got, man? How's everything going? I'm checking in with you.
Hold on 1 second. Life's interesting, you know. I mean, you don't plan for
Oh, we lost.
No way.
We didn't plan for that.
That cliffhanger.
Yeah.
We'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back with you folks. Stay tuned. And we're back. And so
Don, you on the editing anyway, so you got that.
Yeah.
What just happened? I looked away and the whole thing went black. I was like, what?
I don't know. What were you saying?
You know, playing about. You talking about playing in life?
unpredictable.
No, I was just saying, you never expect these drastic changes or whatever to happen in life once you've gotten the white picket fence in the house and the mortgage and all that kind of stuff. And when it does, you start to try and figure out plan B's and C's and D's and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. This is awesome. This is great to look forward to hang out with you guys and to chat about life and chat about dreams and futures and all that kind of stuff too. But at the end of the day, like, there's just a lot going on now that I'm dealing with, and I'm trying to make work that wasn't expecting to happen to make work. So most importantly is just making sure the kids know that they're loved and not missing anything, being open and honest with them about everything, and just enjoying life with them as much as possible, because they have their challenges too. My son, both of them just had their standardized testing, and Angelo says something like, the test was what it was. I didn't have any problems with it. I think I had like one question I was worried about. This kid, he scores darn near perfect on it, and I'm like, whose kid are you? Like him and his sister just amaze me, and Mila's the same way. This little girl had the hardest time reading and writing and understanding a lot of things that her peers were able to understand. And between last year and this year, she's reading on her own. She's writing complete sentences. She's doing math that's closer to her age level. Like, it just blows me away, like, what they're capable of in such a short period of time. You forget what you could do when you were that age. It's a double-edged sword. I'm loving that part of life. I'm loving being a dad. I'm loving being a part of these little people's lives and watching them evolve and grow and all that. But then I had the flip side of it. I have my stuff to deal with. We talked about it in earlier sessions or whatever, where I know I needed to go and talk to somebody, and I still haven't done it yet. I told Philip I was watching some of the Tony Baker podcasts and stuff like that, and he talks about it a lot because he's lost a child. But a lot of the guys were basically saying, yeah, I know I need to do it, but it's just, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like scheduling something else. I don't feel like making the time for it. I know it would probably be very beneficial and helpful to do. It's just hard. It's a big change to have to make. You know, it's not that I'm not accepting it, it's just doing it.
Do you feel like it might not ultimately like help? Do you feel like it's just I'm just talking to someone and then I'll feel good in the moment and then it's real again, or none of that, or it's just exactly what you're saying, just
I know it'll help.
lack of interest?
I know it'll help. I know that yes, I can process a lot of things on my own, but I need that unadulterated second opinion, that other person that doesn't know me from Adam and hears my story from my perspective and then helps me look at it from another lens. And I know that they have no baggage with me. They have no reason to lie to me or make me feel a certain kind of way. There's nothing they need to get out of me. It's more just to literally help me. I know that that's what it's for. I know what it's capable of doing. Just got to do it. I got to set aside the time to do it. I've got to shuffle the schedule around all over again because the few people I've reached out to, like most of the time, the hours are early in the morning or they're just not convenient to what I'm dealing with right now in terms of work and making sure I'm there with the kids and stuff as much as I need to. So I just have to find a way to make it work. But I don't know. It's tough. I've got a lot of good moments going on too.
You can do that virtually nowadays too.
That's what I was reading about. Yeah.
It's just one of those things that is just like you got to take that first step, and the longer you keep thinking about it, yeah. Well, you still have this platform, and you got this group of guys that are here to talk about these. I know the last couple of weeks we kind of got off track and talked about other things like current topics or anything like personal or whatever. But yeah, I mean, at the core of why we started this, it was to check in on everybody. And just like Dwayne was saying, like, yes, we post all the highlights on social media, but how are you actually doing? We feel like we're close to our family just because we get to see the pictures that they post on Instagram. But I mean, we got cousins that live an hour away from us, and all you get to see is the stuff that's on Instagram. You just, oh yeah, they're doing well. They had a kid, and yeah. But how are they actually doing day to day? There's 362 other days in the year that you didn't even see any posts from. So if you want to come here and talk, maybe after a couple of times that we talk, you say, all right, I do want to talk to somebody. I feel good about releasing this information, and do you feel like it's guilty to talk about it, or is it like a block that's there that you don't want to let anybody into?
I've had to tell my story, different parts of my story, as much of the story as I can remember at one time on multiple different occasions. It's never fun. Initially, it used to be very freeing to talk about different things that I'm proud of, different things that I'm not proud of. Now I'm at a point in my life where it's almost burdensome because I feel like I'm getting near that peak. And I don't. And this might not be the way I feel, but this is the way I feel like lives are supposed to progress. Like once you get to like your 30s, 40s, you're going to be peaking soon in terms of your ability to earn for your family, your physical abilities. Like all these things are going to peak at a certain point, and then it's all going to be downhill. And I don't want to think that I've already gotten behind the 8 ball on getting the necessary help that I need or slowing down career-wise or anything else. I think that's what I'm most fearful of is just if I slow down on one thing to try and pick up the slack somewhere else, I'm going to fall even further behind somewhere else. Like I'm trying to like juggle. I feel like if I schedule too much more time away from work than I am now and scheduling more time around the family life in order to focus in on me, that one of those other two things is going to falter somehow, some way. I'm trying to keep it in my brain that the help that I get will help in both of those areas. That's the part that I get stuck on. Just falling behind.
I just want to jump in on that, man. You the way you're relaying the information or the conversation is it sounds like you're putting work as the number one on your priority list. I get it. If you miss work, what are the repercussions, of missed pay or disciplinary actions or ultimately not having a job, right? But if you don't take care of yourself, what is work? The family, you got to do it. Take care of yourself, the family. You put your priorities in order. If you were to leave tomorrow, gave your notice and walked out, I'm sure that position is going to be posted by the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, right? So you got to put that in perspective. And if it comes down to it and the employer is like, hey, it's either us or your personal, you got to make that decision. It'd be tough, but you know what's right. You know what you got to do. You got to do it. You need somebody to push you off the edge. And that's what we're here for. It's all, if you want to jump on the phone, come down, 95, come hang out with us. Hey, we're happy to have you, Ocean. I know Jackie will whip up a good meal. Make sure you're good. But you gotta be selfish in the sense that you gotta make sure you're good. Because nothing else is gonna matter if you're not present.
I hear you.
I agree. Honestly, bro, I can say it's not like I want to blame. It was years and years that came down to alcohol abuse for me. But in the recent 5 years or so, I was working for Stress Free for 6 years. For 6 years, I'm still there. But it was a lot that I took on my plate trying to get the business in line, growing a small business and everything. It wasn't my business. At the end of the day, when I finally hit my wall, I was like, I'm just struggling because I don't feel like getting up and going through this whole motion again. And it takes over everything. It's you don't have energy to even put into yourself or put into your family or put into anything else because you're putting everything into work. When it's you probably could do it more efficiently, and mentally a lot of things are draining to you. So it feels like it's even harder than it actually is. If you do put things into perspective and see it as a means to an end, you're getting paid to do a certain job. You have a tough job, but you're weighing a lot of different things. Being a project manager and seeing all the different things that could go wrong, and you're the one that's at fault for everything. Yeah, it's a mental battle, but at the end of the day, you're gonna do the best you can do. You're gonna work as hard as you can, but it's you got to put things into perspective and make sure that the home life is gonna be there. You talking about time? You've been on this planet for 35 years, and it's probably felt like a really, really long time. I'm working with clients that are 95, 98 years old. And I'm you've been on this planet for a third of the time that they had. Yeah. It's be present, man. Understand where you are, understand what you've accomplished, understand the potential is that you haven't even scratched the surface, man. I'm so proud of you coming over and just showing me that you've been writing and stuff like that. Don't lose yourself in everything else. Don't lose yourself in just having a family. I got to be this, got to be that. You're still you at the end of the day. Your kids are doing the same thing that you did. You were an all-A student, all A's and B's. I followed up by your suit. You set that standard. So you're in your head, but when you've got a lot to look in the mirror and be thankful for, man. You just got to recognize those things.
So Phil, what would be some things that you utilize in terms of reducing stress or getting that mental clarity? They say working out, reading, meditation. Is there anything in particular that's helped you overcome, your battles and everything like that? What was something that you did consistently to get in the right headspace?
A little bit of everything. I did yoga and everything was difficult for me because I've never been a flexible person. Meditation is one thing. Yoga is something a lot of people like to do. It was too painful for me to actually escape anything other than thinking of that. So it's but the times at the very end of the yoga session, it's lay on your back flat and feel your body releasing all the tension and everything. And I think the biggest one that I carried with me was focusing on your breathing. And you hear people say that all the time, but if you actually think about what your body is doing every time you take a breath, you completely just lose track of what else is going on. Like thinking of your diaphragm with pushing up and then relaxing and everything, and actually focusing on each inch of your body, just letting it relax, letting your face relax, letting everything just chill. Even if it's 5 minutes a day, it's a huge 5 minutes, because if you're anything like me, when I lay down in bed, I'm just like, even if I turn the TV off, my mind's racing. Anything that you got to get going on, or if you just take a second to just escape, just be in your own thoughts, but not thinking about anything, just be present wherever you are. Beyond that, it's constant. It's the content that you're taking in every single day. Like I make sure that I stopped listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and I love that podcast. But every time, like, I don't want to single that out or whatever, but it's like, if it's anything that's focused on drama and focused on like things that's going to be disruptive that you're going to think about afterwards, I'd rather focus on Gary Vee podcast, or focus on somebody that's actually talking about mental wellness or something like that. And the third thing would be having a passion that you get to look forward to. Like when you don't get that hour out of the day to work on what that you want to work on, that actually drives you. I get energy when I make a beat. I get energy when I finish making a shirt. I get energy when I'm designing something. Like, find what your passion is about, and it gives you a purpose at the end of the day. You know, fill up your day with things that you can look at the end of the day, and it's like a receipt that you can look back and like, got that, and you can close your eyes and go to sleep at the end of the night. Like, it's a good feeling. But yeah, I mean, but every day is something different. It's just staying consistent. You notice your triggers, notice when you're getting down and out, notice when you're getting short-tempered, and take a step away, be a fly on the wall, and look at yourself and be like, what am I actually upset about? What is actually triggering this feeling? Like the shirt that I got on, this is the very first design I ever made, the struggle with the cross through it. And it was because I was getting down and out on the things, my previous struggles, like coming up the way that we came up, or dealing with anything at work. I had to cross it out, because I'm like, I can't use this as an excuse. I can't use this as a crutch. Like, yes, those things happen, but I have to be able to move forward, and I have to keep looking, towards the future and the things that I can do. So it's held true. But yeah, I mean, I wish I just had a straightforward answer for you. It's a lot that you got. It's completely changing your mindset, completely shifting everything.
Yeah, I definitely think that's key in terms of the mindset. Every day you wake up, you tackle that day. It's usually a response to how you, the tone that's set for that day. You know, if you wake up mad at the world, the rest of the day you're going to be mad. But if you wake up, express gratitude, take a deep breath, understand what you got on your plate, and understand that it's a blessing to be in your shoes, days can go a lot smoother. And I think just to piggyback off of that, just gratitude and having a accountability partner. I think that's huge. That's something I'm personally, going through and learning myself, just understanding that I got somebody I can lean on, and I don't have to hold it all in. And I think that's the not the problem, but that's the trying to say. So I have some folks that are baby boomers, right? And they always say, "Oh, the millennial generation, they're weak, this and the other thing." But like, we're told that, but is that really us being weak, or are we dealing with a lot more influences? Whether it be social media, the peer pressure, the family pressure, work pressure, so on and so forth. I don't know, but like I'll say, just having somebody that's going to hold you accountable for your actions, put it out in the universe. You want to do this, that, and the other thing, it'll get done. But having somebody that's going to push you along the way is definitely helpful. Not that I say I finish my journey or anything like that. This is the stuff that I'm learning along the way. And like Phil said, on this planet for 35 years, like, dang, man, that's been a long time. But just getting started in terms of like peak income potential. What is that for a male? I think like 54 or 55 or something like that. Like, it's man, we just getting cracking. I'll tell you that.
You're still just figuring it out, man. Like, I feel like every 5 years after I turn 18, then probably at like 25, and then at 30, it was like, I thought I knew it all. Like, oh, I got it figured out. Like, this is, and then 5 years later, you look back and like, man, I would never want to be that 25-year-old. And now I'm looking back, even at the 30-year-old me. I'm 33 now. I'm like, it's a constant learning experience. And for the people that hit success very early on, I don't know what their struggle was after that. But I can say, like, if I hit the success that I was hoping I had at a certain age, I wouldn't have been ready for it. And now it's like, and you're constantly looking at preparing yourself for the next thing and the next thing. And you just got to stay flexible because you never know what's going to happen next anyway. It's just making sure that you're in the right mindset, in the right place, that you can see those opportunities. Like, you may be closing your eyes to things that's going on because you're so dead locked in on what's happening, what's in your own head and everything. It's like, as soon as you start opening your eyes up to other opportunities that are right in front of you, that's always been right in front of you. You know, it's all about how you look at things. Like, if you don't change your mindset, it's like you can literally go through the day and eat your favorite food and you just, it is what it is. Like, it's blah to you. But if it's a good day, it may be something you don't even like. You know, I can get down with this. You know, it's a weird way that you can switch your mindset and stuff. But I noticed that, like, every Sunday, like, I'm glad that we're getting a chance to talk on Sundays, but it's like every Sunday I like today, I told you I cleaned the whole house. But I knew I needed to clean the house because if I did what I wanted to do, it would be chilling on the couch playing Forza, playing Xbox throughout the day. But I knew in the back of my mind, by 10 o'clock, I'm going to be really upset with myself because it's going to be a day gone and tomorrow's going to be Monday. And I'm going to be right back to it. And I'm going to walk into this house after my job and the house ain't going to be clean. And I'm not going to be able to do, I got a finite amount of time on Monday through Friday. Only got a couple of hours to spend. So if I don't do this today, I'm going to be sitting around this house all week and it's going to clutter my mind just as clutter as this house is. And it's going to be, so I was like, I got to get up and do something. And Jack was sitting on the couch and she had Netflix on and she was on her phone, but she's doing custom shoes right now. She's doing a urn for somebody. She's doing some cards and everything. And I was about to start washing the dishes and I was like, what are you doing right now? And she was like, I was like, you know, you have some things you should probably do. And she was like, I'm so glad that, and she told me after, she was like, I'm so glad that you said that because I would have had the TV on, I would have had all these different things and I wouldn't have done what I wanted to do and I'd be stressed all day. But like, sometimes you just got to take a step. Like, if it's got to be somebody, an outsider to say it to you, you know when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I wasn't like being mean about it or anything like that. I just said, I'm like, you know, you've got so many things on your plate right now. Are you even enjoying what you're doing? Like, and she took care of everything. And then at the end of the day, she's happy about it. Like, that's for everybody. You know, sometimes you just got to have that push to do that first step. And then from there, it's rhythm. You know, by the end of the day, you get done. You genuinely like, man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. You know, I got more things on my plate just from this. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah. You legit gonna sit here and say you look forward to Mondays sometimes?
Yeah, I have to say I do. I do, like, and I can't say it's been an easy thing or anything. Like, I look forward to it because I feel like on the weekends it makes it tough to be as productive as I want to be. Because like on Friday nights, I'm like, I worked all week. I deserve to just have like a night off. I can just do what I want and stuff like that. And then by midnight, I'm like, but tomorrow I'm gonna get up at 8 and I'm gonna do all these posts. I'm gonna schedule them out and I'm gonna do this and do that. And then Saturday morning, mom will text you, hey, what are you doing today? Why don't you come to the house? Or I forgot that we had the Christmas party to go to, and it's just stockpiling. And then Sunday come around and you did all that stuff on Saturday. Now you want a day off, but you don't really have it. And now it's Monday again. So it's like, if you don't look at it day by day and actually treat that day, and it's like, you're never gonna get that day back again. It's tough to just sit back and like, if you're gonna have an off day, just relax and genuinely relax and be there, because otherwise that day's gone. Like throughout the week, I only get a couple of hours. So I look forward to Monday because I know at 7 o'clock, I'm really gonna be in work mode because I know I only get a couple hours tonight. And then I got to get ready for the next day. So I treat my work day and my work life at home and my time with my wife and everything. It's like my schedule is a lot better during the week, but I got more time on the weekend. That's my frustrating part right now. Like trying to make sure I'm actually utilizing those days to the best of our ability, creating content, go out and take some pictures, get out of the house and just go and do something like, and focus on those types of things. but it's tough because you only get a couple of days, you know. But if you look at work as just a means to an end, and it's not like my life is, it's just work, it's just work, it's just work. It's like, no, it's discipline. You know, if you really get it down, it's discipline. At the end of the day, everybody that you're working with is also going through the same thing. Like, they're not expecting you to be Superman or anything. They expect you to do the best you can, and you're holding yourself to a different level, a different standard than most people are. I can guarantee. I knew when you got that job, it was going to eventually come to head, because you're doing something similar that I've been doing for like the last 10 years. Like, it's you're going to carry it home with you. And you have a job that's your salary, and you can get carried home. You're going to do the best that you can no matter what, but you can't tear yourself apart because of it. It's just a job. It really is. It's just a job at the end of the day.
No, I hear you. It's true. I mean, it's one of those jobs where I say the early morning or late afternoon phone calls or all the emails and stuff like that, I know they'll be there tomorrow, but then I know I already had tomorrow planned, and I'm like, if I don't deal with this today, tomorrow's gonna blow. And tomorrow's gonna blow anyway, because there's always something that I have to deal with that I wasn't expecting to anyway, because that's the nature of the job. But it, like you just said, you and Dwayne both said, that whole mindset of it all, like, why does it blow? Like, I'm being paid. It's not supposed to blow. I'm being paid to help other people solve problems that they don't know how to solve offhand. Sometimes I don't even know, but my job is to know who to call or what the resources are or anything like that, track down an answer. So all in all, it doesn't blow. It just blows when stuff piles up. And you're staring at it like this overwhelming feeling of, I'm never getting through all this shit. Like, this is just, it ain't going nowhere. I want to be doing this forever. This whole pipeline of stuff, but it's the nature of the beast.
But what do you like? There's sometimes that like I could probably get my estimates done same day. Like, I have my estimates set up at 1 and 3 o'clock. Sometimes I'll, you know, triple book myself, just if it's like in Westminster, I'll set one at like 9 a.m. so I can just go straight there. But when I finish my 3 o'clock, I normally wait until the next day, the next morning, to do those estimates, so I don't have to work until like 5 or 6 o'clock or whatever that day. Realistically, probably have been in a little earlier, but because I've gotten it down pretty good. But like anything that happens that next morning, which typically something comes up, it becomes a really stressful day for me, even though I know I had time the night before. It's like, what were you doing in that time that you didn't do the thing when you should have done it? Like, you just like, oh, well, it's 4 o'clock, I just kind of want to be off. Like, what are you doing from 4 till 6 o'clock or whatever when you're at the house?
Direct question to me?
Yeah.
So, my drive home is usually, if I leave by 4, I'm usually back at the house by 5, 4:45, 5, somewhere in there. And then I'll immediately start dinner usually. While dinner's cooking, I'm talking and hanging out with the kids for a bit. Dinner's finished, they'll eat, like preferably between 6 and 7. And then whatever's time's left, we're doing homework, we're playing for a bit, and then ideally we start bedtime between 7 and 8. And bedtime usually takes half an hour to an hour, depending upon how tired the kids are, getting them changed and the teeth brushed and all that kind of stuff, and reading stories and all that. And then once they're in bed, usually takes maybe another hour and a half, and they'll fall asleep. So all in all, probably done by like between 10 and 11 usually, when the kids are finally asleep.
And you still got work that you need to get done
every day
from the day?
Every day. I mean, even when I don't have projects, I'm supposed to be bidding. So if I'm not bidding and I've got projects, then that means I've got change orders to finish writing, I've got RFIs to write, I've got just paperwork. It's always some type of documentation that has to happen. And a lot of it you can't screw around with. Like, you can't just like fudge numbers or whatever. You've got to be accurate. Because if not, it'll bite you in the butt later. The stuff just piles up, whether you're in a project or not. But yeah, that's the nature of the job. And our estimates usually can't turn around in a day, because usually we depend on equipment manufacturers quoting specific equipment, like stuff we could probably ballpark, give or take, if we're doing a budget. But if you're trying to like get a competitive bid put together, you're waiting on your vendors to send you quotes. And on top of it, you're doing a takeoff. You're figuring out how much that duct work is worth, and the logistics side of it, the cranes, how many guys you're gonna need, all that kind of the stuff. That's the part that you guys do too. I know. It's just our estimates depend on quite a few people to get them finished. So it's a lot of coordination and communication to get it done.
I'm assuming you're not the only person in that role that has kids, though, right? What is, do you have is everybody saying the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of folks that their kids are grown, so they can stay in the office until 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night and knock stuff out and then go home whenever they feel like and all that stuff. But if I do that, then stuff doesn't get done at home. So then I'm falling short there, right? Then tomorrow morning, then we're behind, or the kids didn't get to bed on time or whatever like that. Like, it's just, if you don't keep that balance, then something falls short somewhere else. That's the way it feels. How true it is or not, I don't know, but that's the way it feels.
What time are you getting up in the morning?
Between 6 and 7 every day. Sometimes earlier, because if I've got to be on site somewhere, it ain't never half an hour away. I'm usually down your way, or DC, Northern Virginia. That's where most of our work is. It's never right around the corner.
So there's a book called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. The morning is really the only part of the day that you can control, right? And if you look at Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, he would be in the gym 2-3 hours before practice, the morning practice, getting his workouts in. But I say that to say is that's an opportunity for you to say, oh, I don't have enough time in the evening, but how much time do you have in the morning where you can control it, right? You get up, it's peace and quiet, there's not a hustle and bustle going on. That's something that you can manipulate to benefit yourself. And that's something that I utilize, getting in. I know like my most productive time mentally is in the morning, but when like 2-3 o'clock hits, it's like it's on autopilot at that point. Just knowing yourself, but that's an opportunity to seize the day, carpe diem, and take advantage of that time. Not everybody is a morning person. I'll tell you that now, but that's an opportunity of a window of time that you can utilize to your advantage. Just my little 2 cents there.
I hear you.
I'm definitely not a morning person. I want to be able to do it. I've gotten my body so used to, now Jackie goes to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Now is my window of opportunity. I'm probably going to sacrifice sleep in the long run, but it's either get up early, and I don't fall asleep very well at night, so I'm going to be up one way or the other. It's whether I'm watching YouTube or I'm doing something productive. So it's either going to stay up late or getting up really early. Those are the two options. I just haven't gotten to the point that I can like not hit snooze. Like it's really tough when you're going to bed at like 2 or something like that. It's tough.
You got to put your phone on the other side of the room.
Yeah,
you use it as your alarm clock, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, like then I just may not hear it or something like that. Because a couple of our late night talks, like I woke up late. 2 weeks in a row, I woke up like an hour late and just didn't hit my alarm at all.
You're getting old, man. You're getting old. Come on now.
Yeah. Jackie's normally up for a couple hours by the time, like even on the weekend, Jackie's up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up and she's already got like half her day done, it feels like. But yeah, it's just, I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day. You just got to figure out where you can make space for stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's also like looking at any of your downtime that you're spending, like what is most important in this downtime? Am I getting the most energy and the most gratification out of doing this or doing this? And it's you know, everybody's on TV, everybody's watching YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that. It's like I had to get to the point where I'm like, I can't even tell you the last time I really got into like a show on Netflix, because it's so easy to just binge watch the entire thing. But in that same amount of time, now it's dark outside and you watch 8 hours of something. In that same amount of time, what could you have done that you're going to get some sort of feelings? As soon as you get done Squid Game or whatever, then you just know that all those hours of your life are never going to come back to you. And now I got to find something else. Now I got to find something else. So, yeah, it's a lot of habit changing. Have you been working out or anything?
Mm-hmm.
That helps. Even like I know it's not the end all be all, but Russell Westbrook told GQ he does 50 push-ups in the morning, and that's his workouts. So until I hear anything different, that's what I do now. It helps though. It's like if you just get up in the morning. Now it's weird if I don't do it. Yeah, like if I just get up, do like 30 push-ups, do 50 push-ups or whatever in the morning, even if I'm not gonna work out the rest of the day, it's like it gets your blood flowing and everything. It just gets you ready to knock out whatever after. If I wait until after work, throughout the day, I'm kind of like, whatever. And then I force myself to do it. And I'm like, man, I really should have done it this morning. Like just little things.
You doing 50 push-ups every morning, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No cap.
No. No. No.
That's cool.
How long does it take you?
Like less than a minute. I mean, maybe a minute's time.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It does not take very long to do it. No. Yeah. I'm not sitting there doing concentration push-ups. I'm like, all right, I want to do 50, and I have to check this off my list. Yes, there's going to probably be days that I just got the 50 done. There's other days that I wake up and I'm focused, and I'm like, I'm just going to do a max that I ain't even going to count it. It still may be 50. I don't know. But it's just doing something to try and be active. We got like the elliptical and the weight bench and stuff like that. The stuff's like collecting dust. Because like it used to be we do P90X and we did that for like a month and a half or something. But again, work schedules. Like I'd take my pre-workout and then Jackie's still not home from work for another like 2 hours or something like that. And by 8 o'clock, now I'm like, I just gotta hop in the shower. I really don't want to start right now. Just knocking out 50 push-ups. Like there's nothing that, unless you wake up 5 minutes before you, actually I do that too. Even if I wake up late, I still like, let me just knock these out. It's just instead of drinking a coffee or something like that, I'll do that. I still got other energy type stuff, but like, yeah, it has been a game changer. And it also just makes you feel good about the day. It's like you've already gotten something checked off your bucket list through the day.
Hey, Don, I guarantee you get up. Well, the push-ups is one thing, but if you get up and you take a cold shower in the morning,
mm-hmm.
I guarantee your whole day would change.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that blood flow, that's that's a mindset thing too. It's like nobody likes to take cold showers, but if you can sit or stand in the shower rather for just a couple minutes, the benefits of the blood flow and everything is definitely a plus. And there's a reason why, like, okay, if you're injured or after practice or something like that, go get in the cold tanks.
Right.
There's a healing reason for cold water. But yeah, and then it's also diet, what you're eating too. That definitely helps the mindset and get you going.
Yeah.
Gene, what tips you got, man? Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, I see what tips Gene got. He got was he 13 months? You said, little man.
Yeah, he's 13 months. He's 13 months.
Yeah.
No, man. I think for me, I spent so much time. I felt like I was always mad. I was always mad at somebody. I was always mad at myself. I would be mad at, my parents. I felt like everything and anything was really somebody else's fault because I could have been this or I could have done that, or I could have gone another route, but I chose to do this for someone else or whatever. And then one day I just woke up and I'm like, it's all on me. Everything I'm doing, I can't put more on my plate than I can handle at times. It's all on me, or whatever situation I'm in, that's me. And not saying it's me as in it's my fault. It's just like I'm going to, figure it out. It's tough. It sucks. I get work that piles up. And just like you guys said earlier, like, it'll get done. It's a job. It sucks to have to, find ways to do it, but I try to do it. I just try to look at everything with a solution mindset rather than, looking at the issue or focusing too hard on the issue. I already know there's an issue. I'm like, all right, let me figure out how I'm going to, just, tackle it, right? Tackle that issue. But what you guys say is exactly that. The gym was huge. Little man, it's so crazy. Little man was born during the height of the pandemic, and so I was still going to work, thankfully, but people could only see me, via appointments, and I kind of still keep it that way. But I was still going to work and all that. And but there were the times when, I was home with little man, right? Like, it wasn't just him and his mom. It was, I was here too, or and it was just getting rough. It was getting tough, not sleeping and all that. And I couldn't go to the gym. So I was like, man, how am I gonna cope now? How am I gonna cope with all these stresses? I'm getting these blues. And I don't know, one day I just tried to embrace it even more. Like, I know there's something about embracing pain, there's something about embracing loneliness. There's something about embracing your thoughts and those fears and those worries and all that. Just embracing them and then just saying that I'm gonna just tackle this one thing at a time. I don't know. And I think that made a huge difference for me. I acknowledged what I was going through when I was, going through that craziness. Sometimes it feels even too crazy to think about because your mind goes in so many places, right? But yeah, man, after one day I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna embrace this. I'm gonna slowly work my way out of it. Like, all right, I know I'm tripping right now. Like, I know this is rough. I know it sucks, but I'm just gonna tackle it. I'm gonna keep going at it, and I'm gonna embrace this pain and embrace my thoughts. And it helped. It helped a lot. And it's, so there are days, man. It's so crazy. There are days now when I'm like, I feel so neutral in a sense. And I know I talked to you guys before about like all the things that were on my plate, and they're still kind of there. But again, looking at everything as opportunities, man. It's so crazy how I see things just flowing. Like, there's times I'm like, it's crazy that I don't feel the way that I once felt, and nothing's really like changed significantly. But my thoughts just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna embrace this. It's not too bad, and here's how I can make this work. And I don't know, it's just been different. It's been very different. So, that's just my tidbit. Is just embracing it and enduring the pain and the thoughts, and and then having a solution mindset to everything you do. Here's how I'm gonna plan this out. Here's the day I'll make a sacrifice for this. Here's, this is not gonna make somebody else feel good, but I'm still gonna do it because I just need to do this for me. And I don't know, man. It's helped.
How about you, Brandon?
And it's the same thing he's saying, man. It's kind of like swimming upstream. At some point you realize just going with the flow makes shit just easier. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the things, like, whatever you're dealt with, you just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, when you're younger, you spend your whole life trying to fight everything. You're like, why me? Why this? Why that? You're very resentful on things. But I guess the older you get, you just go with it, man. Like, it's just life, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you can start putting certain things together, like work, everything should have a schedule. Like, some people can work 24/7. Some people can work a couple hours. Some people can say, hey, look, I'm going to skip my lunch break, work through it, whatever. But as long as you put things in place, like when you go home and you say, hey, look, I'm home with the kids, that's what it should be. That should be your next job. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's all work. So it's just about saying, hey, look, when I'm with the kids, I'm with the kids. When I'm at work, I'm at work. Leave work at work. Makes it a lot easier. Like, I used to be like that, where every single minute I was thinking about work. Every single minute. I'm like, I just left work. I'd be out partying with y'all. Like, I got to go to work. Like, it was just always work, 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 work. And it's about trying to achieve that money or trying to get ahead. And then you find that happy spot where you're just like, it is what it is. Like, it's only a job. They're going to replace you if they want to. So the only thing you can do is put your best foot forward and leave it on the table. And what you don't finish today, finish tomorrow. You know, we're all human. So it's like everybody got issues, everybody got kids, everybody's been in our position. You know, there's moments where I guess you feel like nobody could have it worse than this. You know what I'm saying? There's always somebody out there who got a worse story, or so it's just being grateful, being happy with what you got, and just trying to make the best out of it, you know? So.
Yeah, Brent, I was just about to ask, has there ever been a time where you're like, man, I'm just gonna give up. Like I'm done. I'm gonna leave this job. I'm gonna do.
No, we ain't got to, man, it's in our blood. We ain't got time to give up. You know what I'm saying? If somebody gave up, we wouldn't probably be here. So it's just one of them things, you know, even the generation before us, they didn't give up. So that's how we got here. Just ain't got time to give up, you know? Got to just get that thicker skin and just keep going, man. It's okay to fail though. You know, like what you were talking about earlier, Donnie, it's like sometimes you got to take 2 steps back to take them 5 steps forward. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean it's a failure or you didn't succeed. Because at the end of the day, you're still going ahead. You're still passing your goal, or you're still achieving something greater than what you were before, you know? So
still learning.
Right. And that's all it's
failure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a learning process, man. Like, and you know, the great thing, like everybody was saying, look, there's 5 of us. So it's one of them things is between 5 guys, man, we've been through a lot. There's nothing that we can't tell each other that wouldn't help each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of them things like, man, if I was driving on a suspended license, I'm going to tell y'all like, yo, look, don't do it. I don't expect y'all to have the same issue. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no point in all of us going through the same issue. So if there's something that I could tell you guys, like when it comes to work, don't stress about it. Like, only thing you should be stressing about is your bills. If you got a job, your bills should be taken care of. You get what I'm saying? As long as your kids are healthy, you should be happy. There's a ton of jobs out there. If you're not happy at your job, if you don't feel passionate about it, find something that you do. You know, now's the time because everybody seems to be hiring. So it's like, put your foot in the door, see what you like, explore, pick up a second job right now. I know it sounds like a lot. Pick up a second job. If you like that second job, leave the first one. Do it now. Don't try to do it when you're 50. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be unhappy for the next 20 years. Do it now, man, while you're young and you can bounce back.
Yeah, Brandon, you touching on that point in terms of the job market. Like, the job market is what, regardless of what people think, it is. There's plenty of jobs out there, right?
Right.
Now, the pool of candidates is a little different. It's a little skewed, where folks that are applying for jobs have more leverage now. You know, I need 2-3 days remote work, this and the other thing. So, you know, that's a great point that Brandon said, and that's one of the ways that if you want to make more money, go to another company. You know, and they say, "Oh, what are you looking to make?" Well, I'm currently at this. It doesn't really have to be what you're at.
Yeah.
But that's the baseline right there. And then you have that room to negotiate. And you know, and that's what I'm experiencing right now, trying to fill positions. It's like, man, I'm scheduling interviews and they're getting set up and stuff like that. You'd be amazed at how many people don't show up to an interview or decline an interview after accepting it. Or, no, I'm not interested in the job. Like, why'd you apply? You know, so what a time. But that's definitely something. If it's the work, yeah, there's plenty of opportunities elsewhere. Shoot, we could talk offline, man. I can get you some.
Exactly too.
Yeah, so.
Phil's talking to me? No, I'm whoever's
just in general,
podcast, yeah. I'm not trying to quit my job. Just so y'all realize.
No, not. You're like, I love it. Well, you got the editing controls, man. Just go ahead and edit that part.
Yeah.
Oh God. No, it's. I've been in this position, this role. Gosh, going on 4 years, or has it been 4 years? And it's a job where I'm wearing so many hats that I'm still learning. I know that. I appreciate that a part about it. And I'll probably be learning this job for the next 10 years, Lord willing. Like, it's just one of those things where it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to get comfortable with. It's a lot of people to build relationships with. I think I think that was the biggest change in any of the jobs that I've had, is recognizing how much relationships are important for work. It ain't just showing up, clocking in, doing a function, and then clocking back out. Like, every relationship you have, whether it's the people you work with or the people, your clients outside of that building, they're all super important. And how you take care of each one of those relationships pretty much dictates how you're going to progress, not just with the company, but in life. There's so many relationships that I've made through my jobs and stuff, and those relationships have turned into friendships, or they actually helped me get the next job. So it's been huge. I can't complain about that at all. I've learned a lot. But going back to you, Duane, like, when did you realize like what you did for a living is what you wanted to continue doing?
Good question. When you know, you enjoy what you're doing, you know, if you enjoy what you're doing on a day-to-day, and on top of that, the added bonus is you get the check, you know, it makes sense. But finding something that you're passionate about, something I've always enjoyed doing, is helping, talking to other people, building relationships, being the one to cultivate those relationships and help others in the long run, is something that I truly enjoy, you know. But when you can tie that into quote unquote work or your career, then that's when you know, like, it's something that's, you know, there's no definitive date on when it was like, oh, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I could pivot, you know, down the road. Like, there's plenty of other interests that I have now that I didn't have a few years ago, and things like that. So not to say that I'm, you know, my story is at its end. You know, I might, you know, have a different chapter coming here soon. So I don't know, but overall for me, it's just something, picking up something that you enjoy doing, and then you know, you'll see the benefits of the sacrifices that you make. You know, not only for, and it has to be the right company too as well, because you can enjoy what you're doing, but if the supporting crew, team, back end, whatever it may be, if they're not helping you out, then that can kind of mess things up a little bit. But nah, just find something you enjoy doing, and the money will come.
Yeah. Fellas, I guess we've reached our hour. I know that we said we wanted to, you know, kind of control that. We could do more recordings offline and all that, but I do got to make some calls here. You know, got to respond back to moms and all that. And I probably got a little less than 30 minutes before little man's up again, and it's my night. So, you know, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I'm glad we could do this check-in, getting back to kind of where we started, the goal, what we wanted to accomplish. So that's, you know, I think that's the first step. So good.
All right, fella.
All right. So love y'all, fellas. Y'all have a blessed week.
Yeah, look, he started to back up.
I got that every single time. It's just
I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I'd like to try and keep it to an hour-long podcast if possible. But I mean, at the end of the day, if we can chop up clips, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really feel like it was the end of that conversation anyway. But so Don, since you have been the center focus of this conversation, let's continue there. But so what are you looking at in terms of, I guess you got the job. We're not even going to talk about you like leaving the job or anything like that. But what have you been writing about? I'm interested to see what you've been doing in your downtime. You said you've been doing some writing, getting back to like the poetry, or what are you doing?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, like journaling, doing a little bit of poetry. Like I said earlier, planning. I always joked about like doing the hobby shop thing or doing a junkyard or something like that. I've always felt like a Fred Sanford type dude. Like, I've always had that side of me that wanted to rehabilitate things, flip them and sell them. That's always been a dream of mine. So planning towards things like that and something I know I'd be passionate about. And with the writing, it's just, yes, my job involves quite a bit of creativity, especially like just how we're going to go about things logistically, or how we're going to install something, or whatever the case may be. But in terms of actual, like, me recreating something, I don't do that anymore. I don't paint, I don't draw, I don't sculpt, I don't build stuff much anymore. So writing was always something that was very flexible and easy to, is accessible. Just always something I've enjoyed or whatever. I used to write all the time. And Philip and I used to joke about it, like come up with raps or whatever the case may be. That's never really been my lane, so to speak. But to write and just look at things a little bit differently has always been something fun to do. Something I've always been intrigued with. But yeah, it's been good. I mean, the time can always be more productive in hindsight, but my weeks are so jam-packed with stuff that I don't get to enjoy all the time. It's just me trying to fulfill certain things that need to get done. I look forward to my weekends. I look forward to being able to indulge in the things that I enjoy the most. So yeah, but I do need to be better with my scheduling. I get that. Say, hey, look, if I'm going to play video games, it needs to be for these 2 hours, and then back to the laundry or washing the dishes or whatever the case may be. Like, I really got to stick to that kind of stuff. I got to get better with it.
Or if you're going to jump on the video game, stream it. You know, like when it comes to like your writing and everything, I was never joking about about putting together songs and stuff like that. Even if you're putting together skits, or you know, when we listen to hip hop and stuff, it was always like 8-Ball and MJG would have, and Murphy Lee, you know, like every 3 songs it'd be a skit, or every Carl Thomas even had like written like spoken word and stuff like that. So I was never joking about you doing it. It ended up causing like a fight between us, like arguments between us, because I'm trying to push you towards something that you're passionate about. That's all. There's no end game for me other than just doing that, because I came up watching everything that you did. Like, if you're going to be doing artwork, I want to do artwork. If you're going to, and I could never get to the same level as you when it came to writing. That was always something I took my hat off to. So it's like, there's no reason for him to not do. This is the one medium that you can do. Now you can do it on your phone. You write like, at any point of the day. You stayed up late, right? Like, do it. And you got the whole studio set up here. If you want to actually do it, I'd be down to do a spoken word album. Like, I think that would be dope. Or just they have a sign out and just have Don do a spoken word or something. Like, you think differently. When I actually sit down and read the way that you're writing and stuff, it's like I could just tell a simple love story, but he takes you on a different journey to get this message. Like, that, it's a talent that not everyone can do that. Most people cannot do that. Most people struggled when you had to write a poem in ILA or whatever class. Like, it's talent.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but that's your medium, man. Go give it to the world. I mean, you could have a mask on and you know, have this, you know, his alter ego, you know, MF Doom type. You know, nobody has to know, but you're still getting out what you want to express. So it's just getting over those hurdles or those reasons why I'm not doing or anything that's holding you back. I mean. Nah, yeah, I can tell you that this much. I can't write a haiku for nothing. So, you know, so writing is something you definitely can make money on. Especially, I don't know about like copy for, you know, advertising and stuff like that. A boatload of money to be made there, but nah, share it with the world, man. Don't be scared.
Yeah, no, we've been talking about it. I'm gonna do it. I've already started to record myself just to hear what it sounds like. I mean, these videos are cool and stuff, but you get to see your face and you get to hear the words that come out on it. But to record it separately is just different. So it's just weird hearing myself like saying the stuff that I wrote years and years ago or whatever. But I don't know, it's growing on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely weird hearing yourself talk, because I go back like, that's how I sound, man. Like, hey, I gotta drop it down a couple octaves or something.
I'm saying, like, everybody laughs at Aubrey, Drake or whatever, and it's like, oh God, I sound like that dude.
They called him Aubrey.
Oh God.
It'll be even more different when you get on the microphone and it's isolated sound. You can get, and you add the reverb and the delay. Yeah.
Phil, you still got my track?
Of course, right? Yes.
Oh, man.
I don't. When Don came over to one day, I was trying to put music up on the hard drive, on the Google Drive, and I just started playing stuff. And like I forgot, I got my boss, co-workers have come over, friends, family, and stuff, and actually playing them back. It's like, yeah, it's something dope that it'll never go unless you lose that file or something like that. It'd be something. Say anything did happen and your legacy is down. Wouldn't it be like if you knock on wood or whatever, you're gone tomorrow and all of that music, all that writing, all of that creativity isn't able to be shared beyond that. The genius is not able to be shared. Like Jackie's dad or her father passed away when she was 18, but he used to sing to him and write songs. He got the acoustic guitar. She's got it up in the living room and stuff in the case. But in the case, he has songs that he wrote out. And I'm like, it'd be great if he was able to have recorded those songs before he had passed away, and that stuff's going to carry on. So I started thinking of like all the stuff that I have. Like I just need to write down directions, like go to this folder, go to this folder. But it's so much that I haven't put out there. It's like Mom had like 100 drawings that I had done over the past few years, and I didn't realize how many I'd done. But she's like, man, I didn't realize you had such a big collection. Oh, that's crazy, because I don't feel like I've scratched the surface on sharing anything. Like that was just in the moment. I did it 2 days later, I posted it. But the stuff that I don't share, the stuff that I hold close to me, it would be a shame if I didn't do that. You know, like, and I feel the same way for you. All those writings and stuff like that, we came across, we were like, man, like he was crazy. He had like an Andre 3000 sitting here and he didn't want to share it with the world. Like you have talent, bro, and you live so close to not come over and get on the mic and just have fun with it.
All right, so by the end of 2022, we need that spoken word album.
Yes, I'm there too, man.
We putting it out there.
Flip the album over and see produced by AK. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Produced. Every track spoken by Donnie.
Wow. All right.
Neela and Angelo, executive producers, so they get their royalties.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
we're on Spotify already.
Right.
Yeah.
You're already out there.
Your album has to drop before Jeans.
Wow.
You know
what I'm saying? That weight on, huh? Gone.
Jeans will be good. If it drops after, I'm gonna be upset.
It's like Kanye and 50. Y'all could drop on the same date.
Same day. See who gets what.
Who gets more streams.
You know how I operate, bro. It'll be out before the end of the year if you
in 2021.
Right.
If it's anything like them t-shirts, man, it'll be out the next day.
Right. Like, I'm pretty sure I can take your voice off of here and just put it out.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
We joke, but I probably.
Oh man. What about you, Brandon? What do you do to recreate or bring yourself some peace outside of work or whatever? What is that for you?
I don't know. I've gotten lost, man. Like, especially in the last couple months. Like, with my girl, we traveled, or like just that was like the ultimate unwind for me. Like, unplug. Like, you know what I'm saying? You leave on a Thursday, you ain't got to worry about family, you ain't got to worry about kids, you ain't got to worry about your job. Unplug for 3-4 days, then you come back and it's cool. It was like Philip says, I was happy it's a Monday. I'm happy to get back in the grind. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was my unwind. So then now it's like, with everything that's happening, I don't know. I don't even see a next trip date. Like, me and her on Sunday or Saturday when we're on vacation, we'd be sitting on our phones like, what you doing? Oh, I'm looking up our next trip. I'm like, cool. Like, but now it's just like, I don't know when it's gonna happen, So it's like I try to find other things. Like, so my happiness right now has just been just knowing that we're okay. You know what I'm saying? That's what's been getting me through. It's just the fact that I'm still here. I still got money in my pocket. I still got a job. I'm okay. No matter what shitty ass cards I've gotten dealt, no matter what has been taken from me, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So that's my silver lining. You know what I'm saying? I got a good woman. I got kids that aren't mine, who are like mine now. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like you're in a place of being grateful, or do you feel like you just need to figure it out? Because that's what you have to do. Those are the cards you got. You just got to figure it out.
Some days, man, I just started listening to gospel music, right? And I'm not trying to make anybody listen to gospel music, but I put some on today. And my girl looked at me like I was crazy. But I find myself listening to gospel music like once or twice a week on the way to work. And it's like literally it keeps me from snapping. Like, cause I've been at this point where like you pray to God, right? You ask God, you're like, give me strength, right? So what's he do? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give you strength. What he does is he puts you through hardship to make you stronger. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, man, I need some wisdom. So what's he do? He sends me a whole bunch of trouble. He sends me a whole bunch of issues, and you got to work through it. It's supposed to make you smarter. Those things is it like I feel like I've asked God for so much stuff, and I'm at this point in my life where I don't ask for shit no more. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I lose my mom, I lose my brother, now I got these kids. It's just like I can't afford to ask for shit because I'm scared what the outcome's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, I still feel blessed. Like no matter what task or what heartache or hardship, I've always had to be strong. Like, when my mom died, I felt like I had to be strong for my brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want them to crumble. So it was like, I still haven't even processed that. Like, I haven't had time to process it. It's just get up, go to work, make sure everybody's good. I've been doing that since I was young, you know what I'm saying? Get up, go to work, make sure everybody's good. Everybody's good. We're good. That's where I find my happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, my happiness is my two kids, man. Whenever they ask me for something, I make sure they have it. Like, you ain't got to ask me twice for shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes me happy. What makes me happy is making sure that my niece and my nephew are good. At the end of the day, if my job can't fit around my schedule, I'm going to have to find another job. You know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't want it to come to that means where I had to find another job for my niece and my nephew. But right now, they're my life. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I asked for, but it's the cards I was dealt, So that's where I find my happiness. My happiness is just making sure everybody else is good. So as long as everybody else is good, I'm happy, man. When everybody else ain't good, I'm a shitty person to be around, man. I'm an asshole. I'm a complainer, but so find yourself.
What do you think you would need in order to grieve?
I don't, bro. I like everybody who's been talking. You're just doing so much. You know what I'm saying? Like my time to grieve is when I'm on my way to work. When I'm on my way to work and I'm driving to work, I've driven the same road so many times. I've been at my job 16 years. I've driven that road so many times. I could sleep on the way to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm driving on the way to work, and I'll start crying because I start thinking about like my mom, or I start thinking about my brother, and I'll start crying. And I'll be like, man, like shit, fuck. Like I don't feel like going to work, but you still gotta go. You still gotta push through. You still gotta prevail. Like, but to actually just be like, you know what, this whole weekend I'm just gonna chill out and just like grieve. It's never been an option. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say somebody passes away. What do you got to do? You got to get ready to bury them. You don't really have time to grieve. I feel like the last person I was able to grieve for was like a grandmother. Like when I was actually young, where you're behind the scenes. Like somebody can just pass away and you can actually come and be a spectator. I haven't had that in a long time. It's just been somebody passes and then you got to worry about their bills. You got to worry about notifying everybody in your family. You got to make sure everybody else is good. Everybody calls you and checks on you, but really they're calling you because they're venting. They're the ones crawling. They're calling you and they're crying. they're saying, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're pretty much, you need a shoulder, but you become that shoulder for everybody else, you know? So, I mean, I literally don't know when I will process things or when things will be normal again, or if anything even goes back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Because when we were younger, I felt like it was strange and it was abnormal to go through death. Like to have death around you, it was a shell shocker. Like it was one of them things where you wanted to call out of work when you found out somebody died. Now it's like you're almost numb to it. It's like somebody's like, oh, I got bad news. You're like, what else? What else is new? Like, you know, who else died? Oh, somebody got stabbed? Okay. Somebody got shot? Okay. Somebody died because of Corona? Okay. Like, it's just becoming a normal. Yeah. And I'm assuming it's just because we're older. Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure my niece, my nephew, if I talk to them, they don't know nobody who died. You know what I'm saying? But for us, it's an everyday thing. I mean, you turn on the TV, your favorite actor dies, you know? It just transpires. Like, it's like, you can't turn the TV on without somebody you felt like you knew or you grown up knowing passed away. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But the grieving definitely isn't getting easier. It's not like, I just feel like you just don't have it's just no time. Like you said, man, you're busy. You gotta be a parent, you gotta be an uncle, you gotta be a dad, you gotta be a friend, you gotta be a boyfriend, lover, husband, whatever. So it's like, where do you find that time to grieve? Where do you find that time to actually process what's really changed in your life? You know?
And I know I've heard that before, the whole idea of, are you busy? Are you productive? Are you doing what you need to do? Like I've heard those kind of ideas and stuff brought out before. Y'all's immediate family, man, like that's grandma passed years and years ago, but for you to lose on Paula and Blake in such a short amount of time, dude, like I don't know what we could do for you. That's the bad part about it. It's like, I don't mind listening at all. I could do that all day long. I don't mind doing that at all. But it's like, for you to find peace, it's like, what would that take? I don't know. I don't know what that take. Is that just you mentioned normal, but at the end of the day, it's just this. This is the new normal, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, I really I never even finished processing my mom. So then to lose Blake, it's just like, I just keep telling myself he's on vacation. Like, I'm just doing him a favor. I'm just watching the kids. Like, and then, you know, we parent differently. So it's like, you know, my nephew just, he be acting up sometimes. And it's like, part of me, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for his dad to come home so I can tell him what the fuck he did. You know what I'm saying? But it's never gonna happen. It's like, I think that's my biggest frustration right now is, I think if there was no kids involved, it's just, I would just be like, look, just like my mother, look, they're on vacation. I'll see them when I see them, like, you know, but because of being kids involved, it's like, I got an everyday reminder, you know what I'm saying? It's like, as soon as they get off the school bus, they come home, they fighting, they doing something stupid. And then Kim calls me, or my niece calls me, and it's just like, damn, I gotta deal with this shit. Or I feel bad too, because it's like, my girlfriend, you know, her kids are grown. So it's like, it's one of them things, it's like, I got luggage now, you know? So it's like, I'm blessed because, you know, she picks up a lot. Like she does, I feel like, she does, I'm gonna keep it real, she does more than I do, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some people look at it as like, oh, well, she's a woman, so yeah, it's just easier for her to jump in and do this. They're not her kids, they're not her blood. So it's like, I'm super appreciative, and I don't know how to say that enough or show her enough that I'm appreciative. But at the same token, like, I struggle every single day because it's like, nobody asked me if I wanted to take care of my brother's kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was like, is that what you want to do? It was just, I had no choice but to. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not complaining. I'm not saying I wouldn't have, but it's just one of them things. It's like sometimes you find yourself doing something that somebody else made a plan for you. So it was always Blake's plan. If something happened to him, me take care of his kids. So when shit happened, I talked to their mother, and their mother was like, hey, look, Blake always said that he wants you to take care of the kids. And that's how that happened. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, I'm doing what's in my best interest for my niece and my nephew, but I still struggle with it every single day. Like, am I doing the right thing? Do I really want to do this? Do I really not just want to be the cool uncle who just shows up when he feels like it, like Uncle Nat? Like, do I want to be the Uncle Nat, or do I want to be, Aunt Paula, who would take in anybody? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's never going to be right now, I just feel like it's always going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm fighting that. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing?
Can I just say this? I knew it was going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For you to take on the babies the way you have. But at the end of the day, like, they need an anchor so bad. And to have you in their lives still, and for Kim to jump in the way she has, like, I said it to you the other day when I was up there, like, you're building this home for them.
Yeah.
And it's something that's been so, like, so fluid, and it's changed so rapidly for these two young kids so often. Like, you bringing them some consistency and being that anchor for them is like the world, dude. Like, you're not going to see it right now. You're going to see it when they're become young adults and everything else, the influence that you are on them, that consistent hand of, I'm going to go up to work every day. I'm going to come home. I'm going to make sure you guys are eating. I'm going to make sure y'all got clothes. I'm going to make sure you got these bunk beds. I'm going to make sure you're going to school. Like, all this stuff, it means the world to them to have that security.
Yeah.
Like, my hat is off to you, cuz, like, I can't applaud you enough for what you're doing for these kids, man. And I know who they are.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
They are some beautiful little kids, and they don't deserve to have this much loss at this much age. But to have you and Kim, it's beautiful, man. It fills me up every time I even think about it. And seeing that house with you guys all up in there and stuff, like,
yeah, it's definitely coming together, man. Like, I appreciate it, man. It's definitely coming together, but it's just so much. Like, I think too, like, another thing too, I think different and this is what I always tell everybody now, just like after dealing with my mother, is like, make sure all your ducks are in a row. Like, I know we're all young and we think we're going to live forever, but when you die and you have nothing, no will, no nothing, everything is chaos. Like, even down to, like, your bank account. Like, everybody, the government wants it to, if you don't have no will, it goes through probation. Like, it just makes everybody's life a living hell. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't make it right or wrong, but literally, like, it takes literally 5 minutes for you to write on a piece of paper, like, I want this done. I want this done. It could be black and white. Like, hey, look, I want Philip to have ownership of everything. It's done. Then when Philip goes to the bank, it's like, all right, look, I take over this, I take over that, easy. But when you don't have nothing at all, it just makes everything hell. And that's what I'm going through now. It's like, I'm going through health with stuff with my mom who died 2019. I'm still going through hell with that because she didn't have anything written. Then it's like, I go through hell with Blake because it's like, essentially, he was next to Ken because he's older than me. So I needed his permission to be on my mom's stuff. Now he's gone, so I gotta have permission to be on his stuff, to be on my mom. Like, it's just, it's just one thing after another. And then when it comes to the kids, it's like, I love them to death, and I want them to. I'm not trying to raise them to be my kids, but I'm trying to raise them to be just good people, just better than they were the day before. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting hard because it's like, at the same token, is they have a mom. You see what I'm saying? I get it. They lost their dad, but they still have a mom. So it's like, I let them link up with their mom. And then when they come home, it's like, I get these questions like, oh yeah, can I go stay with my mom for the weekend? And then I'm like, yo, what am I doing this all for? If they want to go live with their mom. And not saying they want to live with their mom, but it's just that if you want to go stay with your mom one night, well, am I doing you a disservice by keeping you 6 nights out of the week where you can go with your mom and have a great time for 24 hours? Like, it just makes you feel like shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, me and Kim literally wake up with these kids every single day. We make sure they do their homework. Like, we're the bad guys. I'm the dude who's like, no, you can't be on your tablet, or I'm gonna bust your butt, like, if you don't start listening. But then they go with their mom, and it's just all fucking fun. It's all games. Like, it's all laughing it up. Like, I could do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then when they come back, it's like, that's life you want? Oh yeah, I want to go live with my mom. I'm like, all right, well, shit. Let me set that up for you. Like, but then you can't be that petty dude. You almost got to be like, hey, look, I get it. You probably do want to live with your mom, but that's not what's going to happen. Like, I'm still going to take care of you every day. I'm still going to be here. Like,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's exactly what I was just talking about. They're of course they're not going to know it now.
No, man.
Idea now. They know right here, right now. Am I getting Frosted Flakes or am I getting Cheerios?
Yeah. They live in the
Am I
moment.
getting a pillow to sleep on tonight or am I sleeping on the floor? Like,
Right.
It's immediate.
Yeah.
And for them, like you just said, that 24 hours was fantastic with mom or whatever, but when they're a little bit older, they're going to see like who was there every day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That stuff doesn't change. And that's something that mom and dad preached to Philip and I all the time growing up. Like, these are the things that we're trying to teach you so that you're a responsible, able adult. So if we're ever gone, we know you're okay. We can rest easy.
Right, yeah.
That's what you're instilling in them right now. Like, you don't get the fruits of that yet. You know, you don't. You get to see it in them. You get to see them grow up and do the things that you were implementing when you were raising them. But they're not going to thank you for that yet. Come on, man.
See, so look, then on the other side, though, is I got Sky, right? So Sky's 15 years younger than me, right? So it's like, you know, when it comes to Sky, man, I feel like I had a lot in him being raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've tried showing him, like, hey, look, I know I'm your big brother, but look, this is the right way of doing things, the wrong way of doing things. And it's been tough, man. And like, I still feel like I'm raising him too. Like, so it's like, not only are me and Kim raising my niece, my nephew, I'm raising my little brother who still isn't to being a man like he should be. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when does that end? Because he's what, 20, 25? Then I got my niece, my nephew who's 10 and 5. And I'm like, I can't afford to raise them till they're 26, 27. I can't. Like, 18 is the cutoff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just hard, man. It's hard. It'll get easy one day, but I'm not tapping out. But I have my mornings, man. And that's where the gospel comes in. Like, I'll be driving. Drake be making me want to beat everybody up. Or like, the baby be ready. I be ready to put my hands on somebody. So I'm like, look, let me try this gospel real quick. Put a little gospel on. I'm like, all right, I can do it again. You know, a couple tears might come out. Just wipe them off, going to work. I can do this again. You know what I'm saying? But
yo, I'm starting. That's powerful, man. It's powerful. Just sitting here listening to you, Brandon. I can't imagine, you know, being in your shoes, but I commend you.
No, I appreciate it.
You know, I know feeling down in your corner, but I want you to know I'm in your corner too. So if you need anything, phone call away.
No, definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Keep your head high, man. Everything will work out.
Yeah, that's all we can do, man. That's all.
Yeah, you bred for it, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
You bred for it.
That's where that saying comes from, man. Like, it's just
that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about it, when you said not everybody can do it, but yeah, you're bred for this. There's a reason why.
You're definitely right about that.
Yeah.
You know, somehow my girlfriend's bred for it too right now. Until she gives me the deuces. She was like, I can't take this shit no more. I'm out. I'm like, okay. You was out for the weekend, right? You coming back on Monday, right?
So what you mean is you just going out to get some Starbucks. And
Right.
then you
Yo, I tell you, look, if she ever tries to leave me out, trust, I'm gonna be asking 98 questions. And be like, so you just going to get some bread and milk, right? Like, I'm gonna be like,
You just play it in the next trip, right?
I'm like, look, let me just take you to Hawaii for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there you go. Recharge those batteries.
right. Let me send you out. Yeah, but it's definitely, you know, you got to find that silver lining. So like I said, man, like mine is making sure they're all right, making sure, you know, my 2 kids are good, making sure everybody's good. That's what gets me going every day. Makes it a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, you know me, I started hating my job, like 3 years ago? 3, 4 years, maybe like 3, 4 years ago. I started really hating my job. Like hate. Like when I say hate, like, yo, I would go out on lunch and I didn't want to come back to work. Like I was just like, oh man, I feel sick. I don't want to go back to work. Like, and then I had to find I either needed to make my job my passion or what my paycheck was my passion. So no, I don't love what I do for a living, but I love that I'm able to support my family. You know what I'm saying? I love that if I can pick up an extra Saturday or if I can pick up an extra Friday, the work's always there. Like that's not given. If I worked at McDonald's, I would have quit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what's it doing for my family, you know? So sometimes you got to outweigh the good. Like your kids are happy, your kids got good clothes, they're getting a good education, they got a house over their head. Would you be able to do that somewhere else? Maybe, you know? When you go somewhere else, it's going to be more stressful. Maybe. You don't know until you try it. Or you can put up with the shit that you're going through. You find a way to make it easier, or is it really that bad? Because sometimes, you know, we make things worse than what it really is when you sit back and really look at it. You know? So
yeah, it's all perspective. I mean, that pressure changes things when you have the expectations of yourself and you got deadlines and you got all these people that are attached to it and stuff. But yeah, it's like Brandon said. I mean, that's a blessing right in front of your face that you're able to. I mean, I remember when you first started that job and you were stressing over being the low man on the totem pole, not knowing anything. And now the amount of knowledge and experience that you built up over the time that you're there, look back at the Don that was there when you first got started and where you're going to be able to take it. I mean, you're always going to be learning, but there will come a point that you're on cruise control and just understanding that, oh, well, something's going to come up. I don't know what it is yet, but something's going to come up, but it's me. I'm going to figure out the best way to get through it. Right. You know, I mean, like anything that we've gone through as a collective, even like Dwayne has got his own backstory. Like everything that we've gone through up to this point, and we're sitting here right now having this conversation. So it's already a success story. You know, I'm proud of every one of you guys. Every time we come to this group, I'm proud of everything that I've seen you guys. Like at 25, you said you so raised the sky. If we had somebody in their 30s looking at the stuff that we were doing at 25, I'm sure they would have a lot of guidance that they could give us. You know what I mean? Like we're constantly growing and changing and stuff, but you guys have all, I've been the youngest one in this group, so I've seen each one of you grow and mature. And, you know, and I echo what Don was saying about you, Brandon, the immediate changes. And, you know, we're joking about you painting the house and stuff like that, but it's like, no, you're doing some grown man stuff and handling it with grace to the best of your ability and stepping up to the plate. You know what I mean? Dwayne, you got a little man now. And you coming on saying like you found the reason, the why. Like that's a powerful statement to make. That's a man statement to make, and to be able to see that. And I mean, even growing up, like seeing you going through sports and everything, always been someone that I could look up to, and always been that person I could talk to and everything. But you know, and Don, I already told you, like everything that you did, I wanted to do. Everything that you did, I was going to try and do it 2 years before you did it, because I was looking up to you the entire time. So anytime that I say something to you, it's coming from a place of, no, I see something in you that you don't see. Because you didn't realize you were leading me through all those things, but you were doing it the entire time you were doing it. I'm still looking at you today. Like, I hate the fact that you're going through stuff, but I know you can handle it. You can get through it, and you still haven't seen your potential yet. Like, you're scratching the surface. You haven't even begun to show the Dom. I don't even know if you know what your true passion is just yet. Like, what you're capable of doing, right? Like, I'm happy for you guys. I'm proud of you guys. Anytime I can help out with any of these conversations or whatever, I'm here for you guys. I hope through every week that we do this, everybody gets more and more comfortable and able to get to know each other to the point that you actually can start talking about things that are weighing on us and stuff. I think this is really what we gotta make sure this platform is based around. You know, like we can talk about other things and everything, but I don't want ever to go through an hour and a half conversation with you guys and we're not actually talking about some real stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But how you feeling, Don?
That was awesome, man. Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you sharing, man.
I appreciate all you guys sharing. Like Philip just said, like, to talk about some real stuff is always refreshing. It always helps put things in perspective than talking about what freaking LeBron's doing or somebody else. Like hearing about what you guys are dealing with it's always more worthwhile. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate that.
All love, man.
Yeah, man. Same here, man.
You want to wrap this week up? We didn't do an intro. We're gonna do an outro.
Hold up.
What's up?
I think Brandon's got some news.
Oh yeah,
he's supposed to tell us.
Yeah, so look, Gene dipped out, but no, so just to push us a little bit further, me and Philip, you know, we're cahooting back and forth, and we made sure we locked down Stxhes.com. So, you know, we can start putting content on there and small links and small clips to where we can post. And by even having that .com, we can start putting our own businesses on there and stuff like that, so people can know us individually, and, you know, hopefully we can just grow. So I got that for 2 years, so we need to make sure we use it. You know, .com, no .org or .shop. No, we got the real shit, so we good. So hopefully start pushing, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that is dope.
That
That is dope, man.
Like,